Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening, or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share, and play. Hello. So, this is how my junk journal January turned out. It got really, really fat, and I ended up doing this as a tab-bound journal, which is where you put them across. And I will tell you, as I went through, because I've got watercolour pages, they did end up tearing some of them at the tab type because I only did 3, and really you should do 5. I mean, you can do as many as you want, but 5 would have definitely held them together better. So I will learn that for next time. But I did manage to fix it. I've got a whole heap of strips that I put in throughout, and I glued them with my strong 450 glue, and I've put them in through to just strengthen different pages. And I don't think it detracts because I've just done it in the same calico. So it's now nice and secure again. Anyway, I shall flip through this. I'll try and look at the little prompt list so that, look, I haven't ticked them all, but I did do them all. So cover was the cover, obviously, and basically it was about making this front piece on the cover. First day was envelope. So this is what I did for envelope, these little flip envelopes. Love those, so cute. And I just did these little index cards that I cut down and stamped on the front and back and inked around the edges. So that was nice and simple. Oops, you can see how easy they are to go in. Already skipping on the first one. Okay, the next one was tickets. So I did all these little ticket pieces and made them into this little side tuck. So that was what I did for that page. Then we had outline, and that's this page, and I actually outlined over all the back. So, and popped a little saying on it. It was just a little collage journal page for me. This one, love how this turned out, was depth. So as you can see, the pockets see-through. So I had this postcard that's like a colouring in postcard that I thought it looked like it was in the deep blue sea. And so that's my depth with some little die cuts and so forth. This one was embossed, and I kept it really nice and simple. Used a journal card that I had, a pocket that I had, and I just embossed a bit of a dragonfly around it. This was tuck spot. Again, used a little piece that I had, and I just tucked a couple of little pieces in behind that. So it was a little cluster on the side of the page. This one was antique. So I used the key because I feel like the key was like an antique key. And then I slipped this notepad in behind it. So you can see that just slides in on the back. I actually quite like how that looks. I must do notepads like that more often. Such an easy thing to add into a journal, and they're not very thick either. Well, the key is. Now we had hidden. So of course I did a hidden paper clip. So I did a big hidden paper clip, and I just tucked a quick little notepad in behind that. The next day was trim. So I used my waterfall trims that I had and popped it on, and you can see that I got the page coming together by using the torn pages on the background. Alrighty. This one, I had no idea what I was doing. So it was magazine. So I cut these flowers out of a magazine that I had, and I sort of made this flip up journaling spot. And on the front, it's a bit of a pocket as well, so you can see through. And yeah, it came together, but I actually ended up quite liking how it turned out. This one, I love. This was my best envelope flip I think I've made yet. Magazine. This was overlap, so all the envelopes overlapping each other, and each of them have little tags and things inside. So, and it all flips all the way out, or you can flip it backwards and forwards. So, okay, once I take them out, I might just leave them out. And then this way. So another little tag inside, and then this way, and that was just a little piece of note paper inside. But the nice thing is These, I like how these actually all flip all the way out. So then backwards and forwards, or you can just go up and out and do each one individually. So I really like how that turned out. I love the papers on them. They're sample papers. So yeah, it's always nice when you're working with nice things. This was opaque, which is just, you know, not see-through basically. So I just had this envelope that I'd torn up, and I'd done that on the back, and I'd done some napkin on the front. So I just put it together. This was balance. So I did these little photo frames in it, and the balance was having the two, so trying to make them matchy and then, you know, just making the page feel balanced as well. Oh, this was neutral. So neutral, I went with loads and loads of texture onto the background. So I love how that one turned out. Okay, unfold. So did this journal card with it was a dictionary page, so that was quite funny, all about gynecology. We didn't really need to know about all of that, but so we'll just quickly go over that one. Then we did bobbin. Now bobbin was for fragile, because I thought lace is quite a fragile thing, so I did a little bobbin, and I also put some napkin on the background. It's always the small pieces that make the big picture. How true is that? Okay, then we had bright. So I used the light bulb as the bright, and some bright ribbon as well. So just a trifold, bit of fun. Tying you back up again, and I just did it so it's in a loose knot, but that's enough to hold it there. Okay, then we had bubbles. Yes, bubble. So I finished off a little bookmark or journal card that I'd done a while back, and I also did a bit of a painty background. Then we did tissue, so I used sewing tissue this time, and just a really simple collaged background that you've got lots of little journaling spots on. Okay, this one was map. So this was so fun. I've been wanting to do this for ages. All of this folds out and it's all on a map. So now that I've done one, I did my thumb holes in the wrong places on some of them, but now that I've done one of these, I'll definitely do more. So loads of journaling space on the inside with decorative bits on the outside. The next one was repeat. As Lee creates, I hope a lot of you made sure that you went and saw hers. She's just so creative. I love Lee's work. But when Lee did her repeat, she repeats it, and she repeats the same thing. It's very, made me laugh. Lee always makes me laugh. She's very, very creative, and she's lots of fun. So that was what I did for repeat. I repeated the same thing that I did inside. I used the same pages on the outside as on the inside, and even there's two birds repeating. How true is that? Extraordinary things are hiding in places people never think to look. All right, the next page was newspaper. So I covered the front of all of these little sheets with newspaper, did some clusters on the front, and inside simple journaling, and that's a little bit of a newspaper strip as well. This one was line, so it's like a washing line that all these little note tags are on, and I use just a split pin, so you can take them off if you want to, and then they can move up and down the lines as well, so you can fuss about with them. That was quite fun to play with, so that's something I'll probably use in future. This was modern, so I did sort of modern painting in the background, and I had a little dictionary definition for modern inside. So modern and modem, because they were both on the same page. And again, I've got a video on how I did that. And if you go out to each of the videos in the playlists and you'll see the page, I've got a link on each of those videos to anything that I might have made in another video. This was the first time I tried this out. This was movement. So it's got a very thin journaling spot here, but I just did this cutout pop-up that looks like a sculpture. Quite like that. So now that I've played with that a bit, I've got some more to play with. This was crumpled and so simple. A couple of little pockets in it, lots of journaling space inside and outside with, as I said, a couple of pockets and inside a big pocket. So simple, but I really like that page. This one was sealed. So I sealed an envelope and then I used it as side pockets. So I just had little side pockets into it. Ta-da! This video is probably going to be longer than any of my Junk Journal videos, Junk Journal January videos put together, but it is everything all together. This was reveal. So the Bird of Truth was my reveal bit, and it has some note pages inside, and I almost forgotten I had to literally reveal the truth. This was fabric. Love using fabric. Did a lovely big tri-fold on that, and how easy is that? You've got a whole page finished with a simple tri-fold. And the final one was letter. So I was thinking about writing myself a letter on how wonderful Junk Journal January was and all the different things I learnt and so forth, but I was a bit puffed to even write a letter. So I used these little opaque envelopes, popped all these little journal cards that I had made before, and inside the envelopes I had this little paper pad of all of these pretend letters, faux letters I guess, and so I just tore the sheet off each, put a little stamp on the front, and Bob's your uncle. And then I've left the last page nice and blank so I can see the pages that I coloured. So thank you to everybody who's new, all your lovely comments and encouragement. It kept me going because I really did run out of puff at one point there. So I really appreciate everybody, all your little comments, all your likes. Just so this community is wonderful. There's always so much love and friendship out there. So take care, and let's hope this year keeps continuing creatively. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!